Hey everybody, welcome back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the channel, I bring you a review here that I have been highly anticipating. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this release as well, but this is a film that came out back in 1959 and swept the Oscars pretty much, won 11 Academy Awards. It's one of the great epics of all time, and that is Ben-Hur. This is the all-new 4K here from Warner Brothers. This movie, I remember seeing it on television when I was a kid. And, you know, when I was younger, I really don't think I appreciated this movie. I saw it again probably about 20-something years ago. And again, this movie just never really did it for me for whatever reason. I don't know what it was. I guess I just didn't really appreciate it for the technicalities of this film. This movie is just massive in every way. Those of you that have seen it know it has one of the most exciting sequences I think ever filmed, which is the chariot race sequence near the end of the film. It's massive, and you can just see the size of the sets of this film are just, they're really mind-blowing. And really, honestly, up until I saw this 4K here, which was graciously sent to me by Warner Brothers, so thank you very much again to Warner Brothers for sending this out. This is one of the all-time great films. And now we have an all-new 4K restoration here with Dolby Vision and a Dolby Atmos audio track. So today, I'm going to be reviewing this new release here, talking about the picture quality, the audio quality, and the special features as well, because there's actually some new stuff on here. So first and foremost, something to know about Ben-Hur here is that this is a 3-disc set, including a digital copy. Here is the first disc here. The disc kind of tilted on me there. And there is the second disc, as well as a Blu-ray with all the special features. The first half of the film does include the restored MGM logo, which is really funny to seeing that it's a Warner Brothers release, but it's also owned by the Turner Company, so this movie has changed hands quite a few times over the years, just like Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz. So we definitely have seen a bunch of different studios own this movie, but you do have the silent MGM lion at the beginning of this one. He doesn't roar in this film. And it also includes the overture on the first disc and the intermission at the end of the first part of the film on the first disc. The second disc, and does have the second part of the film, it also includes the entr'acte, and that is kind of a nice little touch there too. So you can let the music play over the first couple minutes of the second half of the film. Now, before we get any further into the review, I do want to mention two things. One, of course, this was sent to me by Warner Brothers. So again, even though this was sent to me by Warner Brothers, my opinion is mine and mine alone. I'm not being paid monetarily in any way. I do have to mark this video as sponsored because they did provide this to me, and it does have a monetary value. But I am not being paid by Warner Brothers to do this review in any way. They send these to me so I can make content about them. They don't care what I say about it. I actually ripped Warner Brothers a new one for their kind of weird choice of release in terms of the one battle after another. The second thing is, of course, I watched this on a 4K OLED. This was on a C4 OLED. I watched these movies on a 77-inch C4 OLED. I have tower speakers, surround sound set up. I have a 5.1.2 system with a Denon receiver. And your system may be completely different. So you got to kind of weigh this review because my opinion may be completely different from yours, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want any really nasty comments on these videos. There's no reason to get all up in arms about these kinds of things. This is just my opinion. Yours may be different, and I'd like to hear your opinion in the comments section below. Also, if you're a fan of physical media, I do a lot of reviews like this almost every week. So if you are a physical media lover or just a lover of film in general, I ask you to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video if you like what I have to say. So on with the review here. So Ben-Hur is presented in 2:76:1. This movie was shot in Ultra Panavision or MGM Camera 65. And the panoramic view of this movie is just unreal. I love the look of this film. It is just astounding. This new transfer has such incredible depth, such amazing visuals. I was really blown away by this thing. I can honestly say, without a doubt, this 4K transfer here is one of the most impressive restorations I have ever seen. This new 4K scan is just a huge upgrade from anything that's come before it. The detail level of this new transfer almost kind of scared me at times. There were actually some moments where I noticed things in this version that I had never seen before. And watching this again now for the first time in a while, I had not really come to appreciate this movie for what it was. The massive sets, the costumes, the actors, I mean, the detail in the actors' faces, they were all really just incredible. I mean, it was really incredible. One part, actually, that really kind of made me laugh, and I watched this with a good friend of mine. I actually noticed in one part of the film that you could see Charlton Heston's back hair kind of like popping out of his costume at one point, and that kind of made me laugh a little. I was really not expecting that. This new transfer thankfully does not remove massive amounts of film grain from the picture. It does seem to have been mitigated, but it is not like a DNR disaster. There is film grain all throughout this movie, and the film grain is kind of, I want to say, like a light to medium depending on the shot. The film grain is a little more noticeable in some of the composite shots, especially some of the scenes where Judah, Ben-Hur, is out on the ocean in the Roman ships. Now, you know, you can kind of see there's some artifacts happening, but it still looks amazing. Even some of the miniature work now, I noticed the little figurines on the Roman ship, the battle sequence that happens on the seas there. That scene, you can actually see the little figures on the ship. Now they're really like not moving. They're really noticeable now. But as a whole, the film grain has really kept this detail in. And even though it's not really obtrusive at times, it is noticeable. But I love the fact that they kept that in. It's such a quintessential part of this film that, you know, you notice the depth and the layering of everything. It was just phenomenal. The colors in this film have also been massively helped by the Dolby Vision included on this disc. And that Dolby Vision provides a new dynamic kind of color palette to this movie that I really don't think has ever been seen probably since the original run of this film, and maybe even more so now. The color palette of this movie is very vibrant. It is almost saturated at times, but in a good way, in that old-timey kind of classic epic way. It's just a very vibrant, beautiful film. Reds, greens, browns, blues, everything is just so deep and just so beautiful looking. Skin tones are extremely accurate. There's a lot of close-up shots of Charlton Heston, some of the other actors, and you could really see just, you know, the little details on their faces, but also as time goes on in the movie, you can see the beard that Charlton Heston has. You can see how he's sunburnt when he's walking through the deserts. You can see the fact that he's all tan and ripped and everything when he's on those Roman ships. It's really, really impressive, the little details you get now, but also it's very lifelike. And there are some problematic makeup moments in this film, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into extreme detail here, but you can really see when characters are made up. But the makeup in this movie is extremely impressive as well. And you can really appreciate it now on this 4K disc. It's really great stuff. The other thing the Dolby Vision does for this film that I thought was very, very impressive was the fact that there is now dynamic lighting from scene to scene. The outdoor scenes are much more brighter than some of the indoor sequences. The nighttime scenes have amazing black levels. There is one scene in particular where Charlton Heston's character is running from these Roman guards, and he hides in the corner of a room, or a hallway actually, and he hides in the shadow, and you can't see him. And it's purposeful that you can't see him. And I love the fact that they were able to adjust this brightness from scene to scene depending on the setting. You can tell that the Romans are in the shade, that the high-class people are in the shade in the chariot race sequence, whereas everybody else is kind of out in the glaring sunlight. Things like that I've never really come to appreciate until now. And, it's just fantastic. I was really, really impressed with the picture quality on this 4K disc. It's kind of a 10 out of 10 for me. I was floored by this movie. Again, picture-wise, it's one of the all-time greats that I own on 4K. It really is one of the best that you can get. Now, in terms of audio quality, we have another home run here. This has an all-new Dolby Atmos track. There is also a 5.0 DTS HD Master audio track, but I chose to watch this with the Dolby Atmos, and I don't regret it. The Dolby Atmos on this was yet another home run here. I was floored by how layered everything was, how clear the dialogue was, but also Charlton Heston's voice. He always had a very booming voice, and this audio track really assists in that. Every word that comes out of his mouth almost has bass to it. It's kind of wild, but the sound effects were perfectly placed. The music, the score of this film, the Oscar-winning score of this film, just was room-filling. I mean, it was really, really awe-inspiring. Besides that, the actual, chariot race sequence, there's people all around you. The horses galloping are all around you. The wheels, the people yelling out from the distance. It's just invigorating, and it is one of the best Dolby Atmos tracks I have ever heard. Now, the one caveat is I did have to turn it up a little. It's not the loudest audio track, but it's very, very precise in its placement, in the dialogue being placed kind of always front and center unless it's for surround purposes. Everything has its place, and I love how they were able to take a movie that came out in 1959 and make it one of the most atmospheric audio experiences I have ever had. Very, very impressive. I know I've probably said that a half a dozen times, maybe more in this review already, but the audio track on this was a home run, and I loved every minute of it. Now, in terms of special features, as I mentioned, actually two all-new special features. So one of them is called Ben-Hur Anatomy of an Epic, and another one is called The Cinematography of Scale. Both are great little featurettes that are included on here. I really, really enjoyed those. There are also a bunch of previously released special features on here as well. One of them is called Charlton Heston and Ben-Hur: A Personal Journey. That's like a whole documentary about Charlton Heston's career. Ben-Hur: The Making of an Epic, another great documentary. Ben-Hur: A Journey Through Pictures. There's also screen tests with various actors, including Leslie Nielsen, William Russell, George Baker. There's a bunch of screen tests for the movie that are in here. There is also a feature-length commentary with T. Gene Hatcher and Charlton Heston across the two parts of the film, and those are included on the 4K discs, which is great. The 4K disc also includes the isolated audio track for the score of the film, so that's another great experience. So what's my opinion of Ben-Hur here on 4K? Man, I gotta admit, this is a gem in my collection now. I very rarely am rendered speechless by a film. This movie did it to me. That chariot sequence alone is worth the price of admission, just to see the fact that that was done for real. And, you know, the sets, the performances, everything. Some of the special effects for this time were just incredible. So I cannot recommend Ben-Hur any higher than anything else I've ever reviewed here on this channel. This is a must-buy, an absolute must-buy. And if you want to pick up Ben-Hur, which I suggest you do, I will leave it in the little shopping cart thingy, or it may have popped up over here in like a QR code at one point in the review. If you use that, it does help me out here on the channel a little bit. I do get a little percentage of that, but the best thing you can do to help me out here on the channel is to subscribe. Especially if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to hit that thumbs up button. I highly, highly appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. And to all of you who are already subscribed, I really, really greatly appreciate it. The channel is growing at a huge rate, an exponential rate, I should say, at this point. So I cannot thank you enough. I've been doing this for over a decade now. It's not my full-time job. I do this in my spare time just because I love physical media and I love talking about physical media and film in general. So if you're a fan of that kind of thing, please subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you in the next review, which will be coming out very, very soon. So until next time, I wish you guys all the best. Please stay safe, keep collecting, and take it easy.